losing her mind out there.
I know. I was gonna say if you wanted to put it in there. Then...
She's like she knows that somebody else is getting attention.
Yeah, she knows that the other pregnant mom's getting attention. It's not fair. It's not fair. Even though you're farther along.
Aww. Drew.
What's that? Oh. Hey everybody. Glad to see you guys are all with us, or we got a number of people with us, so I was gone with the kids over the weekend for Labor Day, and my family...
Let me put this on the... you got the window behind you.
Yeah, okay. My family hosts a family reunion on Labor Day, usually, and like both sets of my grandparents are still with us, and so my parents really wanted for us and the kids to get down to Kansas for that family reunion, and just with Robin being so close to whelping, and then Daisy is not far behind her, we just didn't feel comfortable leaving the dogs here in the care of someone else. So Elizabeth stayed up here by herself for 3 days. Or actually, about 3 days.
Yeah, it was 3 days.
Yeah. And I took our brood of children down there to see grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins, and it was a blast. Hey man, could you take Daisy and put her outside?
I don't think she's over here.
Oh, I thought I saw her walking.
She's upstairs.
Oh, she did? Oh, okay. But once I got home, Robin swarmed me, didn't you, sweetie? I'm so happy that I was home. Oh, goodness. Good girl.
Yeah, we will.
But I got to see Elizabeth's live stream yesterday afternoon, and she touched on a lot of the stuff that we kind of wanted to talk to you guys about, as far as rescues and adopting dogs and stuff like that. And again, I'll kind of reiterate that.
Look at that belly.
Look at that belly. Yeah, if you can adopt a Cavalier or rescue a Cavalier, we are. We completely support that. We hope that if there are...
We encourage that.
Yeah, we encourage it. That if there is a Cavalier that is in a rescue, we know that it's rare, but that we really encourage people to...
Rescue the Cavalier.
Yeah, rescue the Cavalier, just because they're such a wonderful breed. And Elizabeth touched on it, like I said yesterday, about how we... I don't know, like, I'd almost say... We were, she wants to call it. She's like, come on. Oh, no. Come here, sweetie. Come here. Hey. Come here.
What is this all about? It's like the weekend bonding with me now. She's
That's it.
She's rethinking who she likes.
She knows that you took care of her for the weekend, and so she doesn't want you to go anywhere. She's like, oh, she's following you now.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Yeah. But, Elizabeth kind of talked to you guys about how, her family did rescue, and I've also done a lot of rescue. I did a lot of pit bull rescue when I was younger, and we kind of felt when we were looking at Cavaliers, we almost felt like it was our duty or our responsibility as good dog owners to find a rescue and adopt a rescue. What's that?
I can't find my keys.
Uh,
Come on, Robin dog.
and
Robin dog.
we
Robin dog. Robin. Robin, over here.
It's like she lost.
She's looking for me
lost her
upstairs.
hearing.
Come here.
Robin.
She's looking for me upstairs.
Come on. Good girl. Careful. Good girl. Yeah. But when we were first looking for a dog to bring into our family after our son passed away, we were, we had this mindset of we have to rescue a dog. We have to find a dog that needs a home. And unfortunately, when we found Cavaliers, it was hard to find any of them in rescues.
Oh, you know what I need to do?
And she's gonna follow you. Yeah.
This whole weekend where she didn't like me because that was not you.
Come here. Come here. Ooh. Here, I'll brush you. But we reached out to a number of different rescues, and we kind of spent some time with dogs that we had hoped that we could bring to our home, but none of them really fit the bill for what we were looking for, because we really wanted something, or we wanted a dog that would help our family move forward past our son's death and to start a new chapter in our life, to turn the page, so to speak. And we did a lot of research and found Cavaliers, and we were like, man, Cavalier King Charles Spaniels just sound like the perfect breed for what we need. And so there was a short period of time where we were, almost kind of felt bad that we weren't finding a rescue, that we were, looking for a breeder after that point. But
it was a very, very difficult mental shift after growing up and spending my whole adult life, 35 years old, deciding to go to a breeder. It felt like we were committing a mortal sin.
Yeah, exactly. And that's we really thought like, because there are a number of people out there that feel like you have to rescue. That's the only way to get a dog. And for a while there, I think that we kind of felt that way too. And it's almost like dogma that you have to rescue a dog, and if you were to go to a breeder, you're committing a mortal sin, as Elizabeth said.
Well, in a previous life, we were a foster home for rescue dogs too, so we also had that kind of hanging over us, where we felt sort of a responsibility.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. You had a foster, or you guys were fostering dogs.
Yep.
And so. Once we finally made that mental shift, we kind of came to terms with the fact that, the dog that you need, the dog that your family needs, you're not necessarily going to find them in a rescue. And so, if you can find a Cavalier or any other type of dog that will do well with your family in a rescue, then by all means, get a dog through a rescue. But that's not to say that there's nothing wrong with wanting a dog that's coming from a good breeder that has been treated very well. And
that was the problem we had in finding a dog, was that there seemed to be so much of this only go to rescue attitude that we couldn't find any breeders that were breeding for pets, because all of the pets are kind of coming out of the rescues, if that makes sense. When we looked for breeders, all we were able to find were like backyard breeders and puppy mills, like small puppy mills posing as breeders.
Yeah.
And it was really difficult to discern who was an actual breeder. And so I'm going to cut in and just interject. If you do look for a breeder, or go to a breeder, or you call a breeder, a couple of really good questions to help you weed through looking for good ones is, first, make sure you can visit. Even when you pick up, we had breeders insist that they would only meet us. We couldn't come to their property to meet the puppy, to visit the puppy, or even to pick up the puppy. And so that's a big red flag if you can't find a time ever to visit.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the health testing. Backyard breeders and puppy mills are not going to be doing the health testing.
Yeah, they're not going to be doing any of the testing.
She's a good girl.
And it's these days, and depending on where you live, here in the States, a number of states have passed laws where pet stores can no longer sell animals out of their storefronts. So, PetSmart and what are some other ones that they used to have, like the little showcases where you could adopt a dog or adopt a cat from. Well, here in Illinois, they outlawed that practice, and I believe that a number
in February. It was recent.
Yeah, it was very recent, and that's usually where puppy mills were selling to, is they would be selling their puppies to PetSmart or their local PetSmart or wherever else that they could.
I don't think PetSmart. PetSmart.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't say his name. I should say, I'm sorry, they're PetSmart.
Yeah, PetSmart. Yeah, PetSmart. I think did rescue like adopt-a-day, adopt-a-thon things.
Okay, but yeah, so nowadays you'll find a number of puppy mills posing as legitimate breeders in order to keep their business afloat, or backyard breeders too will kind of do that.
With all these new laws in place, they're looking for they need new ways to sell and market their puppies, and with awareness of puppy mills becoming bigger, they're having to find new avenues to kind of trick people, I guess, for lack of better words. And so what we found in looking for our Cavaliers is they would pose as just like a regular breeder with the listings, but you usually can't find much background on the actual person.
Yeah.
They might have like an old profile they joined a while ago, but you won't be able to find like a decent website or any sort of, these days they should have some sort of social media something.
Yeah.
And that stuff is usually pretty scarce.
Yeah, especially.
And then the other thing is that they'll price their puppies at like just below the rock bottom range for the breed. So like if a typical price range is for a healthy, well-bred, well-raised Cavalier puppy, the typical price range is $2,500 to $4,500. Their prices will probably fall between like
1,500.
I was gonna say like between $700 and $1,500.
Yeah.
And so, it's one of those like you get what you pay for sort of things. If it's if the price is a little too low, then it's probably for a reason.
Yeah, and that's the hard part about because you'll see these prices and it's like, oh man, getting Cavalier for that price while everyone else is much higher. It's very easy to want to reach out to those folks, and I mean, every now and then you find, like, for us, our first few litters, we had people contacting us and asking if our price was
something wrong with puppies.
Yeah, if there was something wrong with our puppies because our price was pretty good, and we just thought we were being fair, but these days, keep an eye out for who you see online, especially on what's that one website, puppyfind.com or puppyfinder.com.
Yeah, I always get them backwards.
Yeah, but
there's that and another one.
Yeah, and you can also ask them, like, if you do end up contacting someone and you're starting to get these red flags, like they won't.
Oh, but you know what? Actually, before you even say that, a good site to use if you're looking for listings is gooddog.com.
That's what I was just about to say.
Okay.
I was just about to say the same thing. Yep.
Because they're like the Puppy Find website, except that the people who are listing on there are breeders that have already been vetted by their staff.
By Good Dog. We are like our we have been vetted by Good Dog, and it is
It's
a
like
process.
an application process.
Yeah,
and-
you apply. We had to do an interview, and they wanted to know about our facility, and we just kind of said, well, our facility is our home. Yeah, and so we kind of gave them a rundown of our philosophy and the different things that we do during those 8 weeks that the puppies are with us, and so we did receive the seal of approval from Good Dog, and so that's always
We only found out after this conversation with these people that were being interviewed for.
Right.
We didn't realize that it was an actual honest to God interview they were judging us on. So it was a little scary to find out afterward.
afterwards. Yeah, but if you are looking for a good
Yeah, they have like
resource,
pre-screened breeders on that website, gooddog.com.
yeah, Good Dog is an excellent resource if you're looking
Yeah,
for.
they're a very good resource.
Good girl.
They're really good because they protect buyers too, in that regard. So
Yeah, that is an awesome thing about Good Dog, that they protect the buyers. You can pay through their website.
their platform.
Yeah, through their platform, and it protects both the breeder and the buyer. So it's kind of an awesome system. If
And their
you
big
choose-
thing is transparency too,
Yeah.
which is what is I think is a big part of the problem in the dog industry, because that's how puppy mills and pet stores have gotten away with all this stuff for so long, because there isn't any transparency. And so Good Dog is very transparent in everything, like what you see is what you get. And the different questions they ask puppy, we realized too, like puppy mills and backyard breeders would not be able to get through the screening. But it's a good way to find listings for dogs or pets that it kind of removes some of the legwork that you don't know that you might need to do. Like the health testing for Cavaliers, we didn't know was so important when we first found Cavaliers. We only realized it upon doing some of our research, that they had some of these conditions that were common to their breed, and so we wanted to make sure that the dogs we got were free from those. And so those are just things you kind of learn throughout the process, but looking on some of those other websites, we wouldn't have known. So it's a good resource.
Yeah, Good Dog is an awesome resource.
They're about kind of like what we try to say, where if we end all the puppy mills and only adopt from rescues, we're not going to have any dogs or healthy animals that are available for pets. And so their philosophy is about introducing or encouraging breeders to learn how to do more to be better, and teach or educate buyers on things to look for and what makes a good breeder. And
yeah, they encourage responsible breeding, incorporating standards that keep the dogs healthy and keep the breeds healthy. Then they also help with education for potential buyers, for people that are looking to adopt a new family pet. So if you guys have any questions, I just pulled up the chat, so we can monitor the chat. If you guys, that's what I was thinking about. If you guys have any questions, we can answer them while we're live here. Robin is.
I suppose we haven't talked much about Robin.
Yeah.
Robin is a Blenheim.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful Blenheim.
She's a beautiful Blenheim. I'm not gonna say the B word, even though.
Beautiful Blenheim.
Yeah. But she's about a week away. Her official due date is September 13th. She is getting very big. She's getting close to the same size that she was when she.
I was saying yesterday that she's right before the about to pop sort of moment.
Yeah.
Like, give it just probably a few days and she's gonna have that about to pop sort of look, where we can see all of her veins and stuff in her belly.
Yeah, her last litter, you could see see all her veins on the surface of her skin on her belly, and we usually trim up their fur here along their bellies so that the puppies are able to get to their nipples a little bit better, and it's easier for them to nurse.
And in the next couple of days, you should be able to see the puppies moving, and so I'll try to turn on the live stream in these next couple of days when we can get a good look at the puppies and when they're moving, so that you guys can see it, because it's really, with so many puppies in there, when she's at the very end of her pregnancy, you can see everything very clearly when they're moving.
It's really,
they're kicking out.
Are they kicking? They know that you're talking about them?
Yeah. Once we shave her belly, it's real obvious.
Yeah, you can feel there's one right there.
Yeah, that's the one that was.
Was kicking
oh,
you.
yeah, there's like a little paw. Oh, that's so gross. oh, that's May. You want to feel this right here?
So the dad is outside right now. That's Spike. If you check out our website, you can see some photos of our dogs. Spike is a Blenheim, so this litter should be all Blenheims, which is always fun. But he is outside, and we usually keep them separated because her being so pregnant, she is very territorial.
She's territorial and just protective, I guess. She's protective of like anything. It could be like if she's up on our bed, she'll be protective of the bed. If she's with us, she'll be protective of us. It's really anything.
But yeah, you can.
So we can't have her and our other pregnant mom together because like they can't even be breathing the same air because it's like they're competitive for our attention.
Yeah, we can't let them like cross paths anywhere because they immediately are like, "Arr." So, but you
we
can
love on them separately.
Yeah, we can love on them separately in different rooms, but you can go to our website, which is redbarncavaliers.com, and then there's going to be, we've got our different, I should say, profiles of the dogs.
Yeah, I put up a picture. I tried to pick like a decent picture of each one with their names and their little description of like what color they are and who they are. You're such a good girl, Robin Dog.
Hey Nadine, nice to see you. Yeah, Nadine's on. She asked, do we know how many puppies she's carrying? And we do not know how.
We're told 6 to 8.
Yeah,
we expect 6 to 8.
Yeah, we expect 6 to 8, but usually the vets aren't going to say, oh, you definitely have this many, because they try to count the skeletal, like their spines, or the puppy's spines, but they just kind of say, you should.
They try to not tell us at all how many to expect. You can usually kind of wrangle and figure out because we like to know,
what to expect.
We don't need to keep waiting for another one if she's popped out 8 already. And so he'll say, you shouldn't have more than this many. So we were told 6 to 8 this time, but a lot of them don't like to rely on it because, like you were saying, they go by the skeletons, and sometimes they can overlap, or sometimes they'll.
One can be hiding.
Yeah, they can be hiding, or the vet can just count wrong. He'll mistake something as a skeleton because, I mean, when they x-ray them, there's 2 horns to the uterus, and so when they x-ray them, those little puppies that are all lined up are going to be like little macaronis next to each other, like little macaronis. And so it can be, when they're all squished up and you're only getting this flat 2D image, it can be difficult to tell exactly if it's a puppy spine.
Yeah.
So, because there's a lot of other material in there too. You got arms and legs and ribs and.
Yeah, there's lots of.
It's a lot of puppy material.
Yeah, when they're looking at ultrasounds, there's a lot of puppy material. Plus, there's a lot of mom material too in there. So, the anatomy of a dog is significantly different than people. Their uteruses are, it's like they have horns.
Yeah, the two horns.
Yeah, it's like two horns that are coming up, towards their front, or kind of down, and so it's not just one big chamber that all the puppies are in. They kind of get funneled out one at a time, kind of shuffle through.
Yeah, I was explaining actually a couple days ago how they, when she starts delivering, the first puppy will come out, and there's these two horns, and one will send a puppy down and out, and then as this one is sending a puppy down and out, this one is preparing the next puppy into the birth canal, and so then it just kind of comes out.
Yeah.
Every other.
Yeah, it goes like, depending on whichever one starts first, they'll go right, left, and then usually you can tell when they're done. All of a sudden, there's like nothing left in their
Yeah,
belly.
they lose all their, like, we can see as they're delivering. Even when we're halfway through, we can see her belly go down like a puppy at a time.
A puppy at a time. They just start getting smaller and smaller. Or she starts getting smaller and smaller. And then at some point, you kind of can feel around and be like, yeah, there's no more puppies inside, so.
Yeah, it's usually at the end, that's how we tell. And you'll see when we do the whelping live stream, we kind of check throughout as she's delivering. Once she's delivered like 5, we'll start kind of palpating her belly to see if there's any in there, kind of where they are, and about how many. So,
and we will help her along. Like, they don't want, what is it? You don't want to be waiting more than
2 hours.
2 hours, yeah, in between puppies, and
Yeah,
so
we don't want more than 2 hours to lapse between, which we had to happen during
with
Missy's litter.
Yeah, Missy's litter, yeah. But so usually when that happens,
If there's like if there's a noise or distraction or something different, it will stall their labor completely. Kind of like with people, but with the dogs, it's kind of scary almost because they've got this whole litter, and if we've only delivered 2 puppies, because with Missy's litter we delivered 2 puppies, and then
really
her labor just stalled after that, and so we knew we had another 5 in there, or 4, 5.
4 or 5, yeah.
And so it was kind of scary because the longer her labor stalls, the more tired she's going to get, and she still has all of these puppies to push out.
Yeah.
And so it can be kind of scary sometimes when that happens.
Yeah,
So.
a little nerve-wracking. So we usually try
We
to
have different little methods.
Different methods to help them along. Belly rubs, have them stand up and do some belly rubs, and try to kind of
The
get
puppies
things.
that have delivered, just like with people, again, we put them on the
Yeah.
nipples. We have them nurse because that releases the oxytocin in the brain, which helps stimulate contractions.
Yeah, so just like with people, you have them nurse, and then it helps deliver.
Yeah.
Good
There's not difficult girl.
Let's see. How many litters has Robin had? That's from Nadine as well.
She had a 1 litter.
She's only had 1 litter. Yeah,
This will be her
second.
second litter, and it's always nice when it's their second litter, because with their first litter they don't really know what's happening, but with their second litter they know what's happening. They've done it before, and so it's like once they realize they don't have to poop and that it's a puppy, everything kind of engages, and they know what's going on.
Yeah, what they need to do now, because so Missy was our first dog, and she was the one that we had our very first litter with, and after her, or when she finally had a second litter, it was funny just how much.
There's so much we had to do the first time
Yeah,
versus the second time.
that's what I was trying to get at, was that the first litter, we were really having to help her and guide her, where with the second litter, it's like she knew what to do. It happened real fast. The puppies were out in no time, and then but it's with Robin, we're excited to see how she does with her second litter.
Yeah, because the first time they're usually they're not as quick with like breaking the sack and that sort of stuff, and so the second time they're more on top of it. And so that'll be nice for you guys, since it's her second litter, for you guys to see when we're not having to interfere as much. You'll be able to see Mom do it all on her own, so that'll be nice too. Is there enough other questions?
There's another question. So I believe it's Jean Mankey. the Jean. I hope I'm saying it right. Or that's yeah. Yeah, Gene Minky. So you're talking about the potty training. So part of
We had a lot of trouble potty training initially
Yeah.
until we discovered our method.
Yeah, so our very first litter, and even then, like potty training, Missy and Spike, our first two
Our
pair.
first two was a nightmare.
Yeah, it was tough to potty train them just because they're so little, they can just about get anywhere to do anything.
They shredded all the piddle pads.
Yeah.
We would leave them out thinking it was gonna,
It was gonna help.
we would lay them out in like the laundry room and set up bedding and everything, and we'd wake up to it in the morning with just shredded piddle pads,
Yeah.
blue plastic, and cotton everywhere,
Yeah.
and then pee and poop, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah, our first litter, like Elizabeth said, we tried doing the training pads, but the dogs they love to tear those up and play with them and stuff like that. And initially we had our puppy pen on a tarp, and we just still use that. But before we figured out our method of having the potty pan with the pine pellets in it, we would just clean up their pen every night.
Wipe it up.
And we wipe it up. Yeah,
Every morning and every night, we would just go through it.
we just go through it, and there would be just
But it smelled awful.
Yeah, there's like usually one spot where the dogs would usually poop, but it was like almost half of the pen, and we were like, there's got to be a better way to do this, and that was when we found out about the potty training with the pan. Where as soon as the puppies are born and mom is stimulating them to go potty, we do that over the pine pellets, so that the puppies have that scent, even though they have their eyes closed and they can't see.
Well, especially when their eyes are closed
Yeah.
and when they can't see, all of their other senses are really heightened.
Yeah.
And so when mom is stimulating them, they're feeling a sensation of pottying really strongly, and they're smelling the scent of the pine really strongly.
Yeah.
And so they start associating those two.
Yeah, they start associating those two, and that's how we get it started. And then pretty soon, once they have opened their eyes and mom isn't stimulating them so much to go to the bathroom, then we're there usually. Once the puppies wake up or after they feed, we're taking them and putting them into the pan and like making sure that they do their business in the pan, and they start making that connection. And usually by the 7th or 8th week, like with this last
I
litter,
mered it out. This last litter, by 5 weeks, they understood it, and by 7 weeks, they were no longer having accidents during the night.
Yeah, that was this last litter. The puppies did really well. Like she said, by the 7th week, we weren't having middle of the night potty issues or anything like that. So,
Jean, you mentioned reading about difficulties with potty training Cavaliers. I do know what you're talking about. I hope you're still on.
Yeah.
I do know what you're talking about or we do know, because our first two Cavaliers, before we started breeding, before we figured out the pine potty training, house training, our first two was a nightmare. We almost thought Cavaliers was a mistake.
Yeah. Oh man, there's so many times where we were like,
I'm so glad that we didn't decide to
back out.
Yeah, but I'm so glad we kept with it, because there is a better way. It can work.
It can't. Yeah. Well, so
If Missy can be house trained, anybody can.
yeah, exactly. And I was gonna say that all of our puppies that we adopt out, when they go home at 8 weeks, they're basically house trained. They will, they have a very solid foundation where
What are you doing?
she knows that you're getting up. If we encourage all the families that adopt our puppies to go and purchase
I mean,
same.
they don't have to.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
don't have to, but
Yeah, they don't
since
have
we've
to.
already trained it for our own use.
Yeah, we just encourage it just because it helps with the transition going from our house to their house. But we encourage families. Robin. Yeah. We encourage them to go and buy the pan that we use or something similar, and then if they can, get the pine pellets from. We get them from like a farm and fleet, usually a Tractor Supply, something like that. Will have the pine pellets that we're talking about. But it helps.
Just having that available in the house.
Yeah, exactly. Having it available in the house.
If they can like smell it, and if they need to use the bathroom and they can smell it, and that's available in the house, and you're busy running around and you haven't taken them out, they can run to that, and it prevents accidents.
Yeah.
And a majority of cases, if they're not too far from it, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
When they're little.
Yeah, when they're. Okay, that's fine.
Where'd Robin go? Robin! I'll get her.
Oh,
just right there. Robin! Come back!
Come on, Robin.
Here.
And it's also having that potty pan in the house is really nice for when the weather sucks. We live in Illinois, and we have terrible thunderstorms, or we have blizzards. There could be any host of issues where the dogs don't really want to go outside to go potty, and so just having that pan at the ready so that
There was last winter, we had a snowstorm where the snow drifted all the way up against our glass door at the back door. And so when we opened the door to go out to that door, all of our dogs went running, except for the potty trained ones, but the pine trained ones.
Yeah.
They did a screaming U-turn and went right back into the house to use the potty pan.
One of them was Robin.
One of them was Robin.
Yeah, Robin and Daisy.
It was coming up it was taller than them. It was like a drift up to here.
Yeah, we had a big nasty drift on our back door, and Missy and Spike, who they were not trained with the pine pellets. They went bounding through the snow to go to the bathroom and then promptly came back. But Daisy and Robin, they stopped, saw the snow, and then just kind of turned around and walked back in, and then they went and used the pan. And so that's really nice to have that. And then again, like we said, it's since the puppies are trained with that at our house, it just makes the transition from our house to their new house much easier if they have something there that they know.
And it cross trains to just regular outdoor training really easily because it has that natural scent because it's made from pine, and it only takes one or two attaboys before the positive reinforcement, they know that hiding out in the grass is just as good.
Yeah.
And we've usually, with the weather being nice, like these litters coming up here in the next couple of weeks, we'll be taking them outside, so they're usually, they're used to pottying outside. At least pottying. I don't know if all of them end up, and poop outside, but
yeah, most of them
I think most of them have pottied by the time they leave.
Yeah, and again, it makes it, we usually send families home with a big bag of that pine. Yeah, I know. I get that the same problem. We send them home with a big bag of those pine pellets, and
You're such a good girl.
families will take it, and most families that we have sent puppies home with, they have like a yard, like a fenced-in yard, and so they'll take those pellets. And every time they take the dogs outside to go potty, they'll take, maybe just like a small handful, sprinkle it on the grass, show the puppy where it is, and it will help them kind of learn that, oh, hey, this is where I need to go potty. And I've got that same smell, the same kind of feeling on the feet, because it does have a very distinct feeling on their toes and the pads of their paws. So much so that our puppies usually do not have accidents on our carpet. They will, we'll bring them in here to play, and all of a sudden you'll notice that they start kind of like not moving a whole lot, and they're just kind of standing there, and it's like, oh, hey,
They
buddy,
look uncomfortable.
yeah, they look very uncomfortable, and you're like, oh, you probably need to go potty, and you pick them up, you take them over to the litter, and they automatically just start going. And it's just, they aren't used to going to the bathroom.
It's like, yeah, they've gotten so used to stepping into that pan and bracing themselves in those pellets that standing anywhere else, I compare it to walking into a bathroom, for people walking into a bathroom when you really have to pee. Like, they have the same sort of classical conditioning, I guess, for lack of better words, where that pan is where they're gonna feel the most comfortable going to the bathroom. And so if they're out by the carpet, they don't really want to go here. They will if they really have to,
right,
and don't have access anywhere else, but they're not comfortable doing it, and they don't want to do it. So when families get puppies from us and take them home, they have that nice little added bonus that they don't have any of these bad habits picked up yet, so they can
pie it on the carpet.
Yeah, they can start without any habits yet.
But Jean, I'm so sorry. You said that you live in Iowa, and unfortunately you got your Maltese from a backyard breeder, and it's I'm sorry to hear that. That's a bummer. But
you usually find out after the fact.
Yeah, exactly. That's usually how it goes. Is you find out after the fact. You're like, oh, hey, man.
Like, oh man, that didn't sound so right or look so right.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, oh, hey, Waffle Ford.
Hey, Waffle.
How you doing? And Nisho as well.
Hi, Nisho.
Is on. So nice to see you guys. Come on, baby. Hi. Good girl. There's our other mama barking in the background.
She's like, when's my turn?
Yeah. Oh, good girl. But, so we've got Robin, who is due in about a week, the 13th, and then 5 days later, Daisy is due. And Daisy is our tricolor Cavalier.
It's going to be busy.
It is going to be very, very busy. Because you could not find, this is, for both dogs, this is their second litter. And you could not find litters that were more opposite. Where
the tricolor and the blonde.
Yeah, the tricolor and the blonde, but then
she has very light colored puppies.
Yeah,
and Daisy has very dark.
Colored puppies, but then also their attitudes where.
And their build.
Their build, yeah. So Robin's puppies were big
potatoes.
They're
like big potatoes.
They were furry potatoes, and they were just lumps. They didn't want to do anything. They just laid around. They nursed and kind of toddled around a little bit to go potty, but they didn't really play a whole lot. They laid around. They were very big, lazy potatoes.
Daisy's were little and feisty.
Yeah, and then Daisy's puppies were small. They were like very.
They were very entertaining on the live stream.
Yeah, they were very entertaining on the live stream, but they were balls of energy, and they were much smaller too. Daisy is smaller in general, and so
her puppies adult weight are like, so for a regular Cavalier, like her puppies be about 15 to 18 pounds. Daisy's at adult height are about 10 to 12.
Yeah.
For a little perspective.
Yeah, exactly. There's a good deal of difference.
And when you see Daisy, you'll understand.
Yeah, Daisy is much smaller. She's not quite as big boned.
She's not as big boned. Yeah.
She's dainty for.
And her fur is also not as fluffy. It's looks like silkier. Yeah. And it's smoother. It's not as fluffy. Oops, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to push you.
Oh, Nisha!
A giant bowling ball for a belly.
Did you? I'm sorry. We didn't realize that you. He missed
no.
Yeah. We had a farewell when the last two left. It
ended up being kind of abrupt though, so you didn't miss a lot.
Yeah, it was very, very abrupt. Cooper and Connor were the last two. Connor was. I think he was the biggest by the time the puppies were going home. Connor was about the biggest.
Yeah, he was huge.
And then Connor was a Blenheim, and Cooper was a Ruby, And Cooper.
You should know some.
Oh yeah, I know. I just got describing. Oh my gosh, God, she's leaving hair all over me.
Does the ear scratch feel that good?
Yeah, they went home and we have a few videos that were sent to us by.
Yeah, I put up a couple videos of Connor and Cooper in their new backyard.
Yeah, in their new backyard, running around playing.
They love it.
Yeah, they're loving their new home. Oh, good girl.
Such a good girl, You're such a good girl.
Yeah, yes, Waffle. So, Robin's letter is due September 13th. So here in the next, 6 days? Is that right?
It's a week from today.
Yeah, a week from today. So yeah, 7 days.
A week from today.
Yeah, that's her projected due date, and then Daisy is about 5 days after her. She's like September 18th. So we are T-1 week from.
So she's gonna be this next upcoming Tuesday, the expected day, the scheduled day. Excuse me. And then Daisy will be the following Sunday.
I need to get a drink.
And then of course we will.
It's okay.
We're just kind of doing these videos to introduce our mamas and talk about the different things we do and what we watch for, and I guess some of the decisions and things we think about and look for, some of the things we think about and consider when we do different things, why we why we pick a dad with a mom and pair them, just different sort of things like that. So introduce you to the moms and bless you. And kind of go over what we've been doing with them and how they're doing until it's time to deliver. Yeah, Robin's such a good girl. She is a good mama. She's a good mama. Yeah. And so this next time around, she's gonna know what she's doing.
Yeah.
So she'll be an even better mama.
Yeah, that is exciting. Move that out of the way in case she goes running.
Oh, yeah.
Good girl. Who's a good mom? Who's a good mama?
Yeah, she's watching Dad. Yeah, she loves Dad. She just tolerated me over the weekend because she had no choice.
Waffle said, "See ya," as I got up. Oh, good girl. Who's a good girl?
I can feel some of the puppies moving.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
God.
So once we shave, I'm sure we can see this. Once her belly is shaved, we'll be able to see it. So what we'll have to do is grab the camera when we shave her belly. We'll have to grab the camera and show the puppies moving.
Show the movement. That's a great idea. That's a good.
Do you remember how active they were?
Yeah.
We could just watch them.
Yeah. Yeah, about the last week or so of her first pregnancy, you could, when she was laying on her back, you could just see them, like, it almost looked like her belly was rolling around.
Yeah.
Looks like aliens inside of her, inside of poor Robin. Oh, you got goop on your eye, sweetie pie. Go.
Their bellies, it's amazing how much they stretch and yet how much they shrink back in so fast, because their bellies stretch way more than mine did when I was pregnant. And I mean, I wasn't carrying a litter, but like just comparing pregnancy to pregnancy for how much it stretches out. It is like a giant bowling ball, and then it just like, when they pop out, it just sucks right back in.
Yeah, and it
amazes me.
They usually gain probably about a quarter to a third of their weight, because she normally weighs about 17 to 18 pounds.
17 to 18
And then
pounds.
she could.
I'd estimate her to be like 25 right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, so she's probably even more than 20 or than 25%. Who's a good girl? But we are very, very excited.
Oh, her stairs are going to be delivered today.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, her stairs. Did you tell them
If
about?
you missed it, yesterday I was talking about how we try to keep her, we discourage her from jumping on or off any furniture, but she ignores us completely. And so when she's jumping on, she won't quite make it. She'll get her front paws and then mash her belly into the bed. And if she's jumping off, she will like belly flop onto the floor, and it's awful. So we finally got her some stairs, and they're gonna be delivered today.
I think that's done.
Oh, is that done?
I was gonna say, I thought I just heard the UPS man. Was that him leaving? Or was that?
No, that was the mail.
Oh, that was mailman. Okay.
Remy, that little snot, she's out on the road.
Oh, does she have a collar on?
Oh wait, that's not. Yeah, that's Remy. There's hers. She's in the front, and she's not like in the road. She's like in the ditch. Robin! 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 Come on, Robin dog.
Remy was out beyond the yard.
Yeah, it was the mail.
The mailman.
I was hoping it was your stairs.
It was your stairs, sweetie pie. So that you don't go skydiving off of
Yeah.
furniture.
I'm excited for the stairs.
Let's see. Yeah, yes, Waffle. This is Robin. This is Robin. And then let's see, we've got.
Somebody commented on something and said, show this to my Cavalier, and he growled.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Robin dog! Robin! Robin! Where are you getting into? Come here!
Oh, Gene, I'm so sorry that you had to surrender your dog because of your health. I'm so sorry. That's really sad.
Oh, that is sad.
That's very disappointing. I hope that she went to a good home. We love Cavaliers for just how great they are for emotional support.
Companionship.
Yeah, they're great companions. They're not, they aren't very wild. They just they love to relax with you. They love their people. They will go outside. They play with our kids outside very often. So they do have a little bit of energy to play and whatnot, but they aren't, they don't knock our kids over.
Yeah.
Like I grew up.
Like some breeds. Do.
Yeah, like some breeds. Yeah, I grew up with labs and golden retrievers and things like that, and they were large dogs that would, when you played with them, they would bowl you over.
That's why, though, one of the things we do for families is any puppy that anyone gets from us, we will always take back if something like that were to happen, health or injury, anything really. Things happen, we know that more than anyone else, that things happen unexpectedly that change your life completely.
Yeah.
And so, what we always offer to families is for the entire lifetime of the dog, we will always take them back.
Yeah.
Because any of the dogs that, we don't want any of the dogs that we've brought into the world
Hey, where are you going?
to be taken to a shelter, and so.
Is she going behind the couch? Hey, come here.
She's nesting. This is
Yeah.
her last week of pregnancy, so she's looking for a whelping spot.
Yeah, she's looking for whelping spots, and we have
You get the pool.
yeah,
You get the kiddie pool.
in our bedroom we have a large pink kiddie pool, one of the the plastic ones that you just fill up with a little bit of water. But
Which you'll see here short soon in the next week.
next week you guys will see a lot of it. But
Robin,
the dogs know that like that is the whelping pool or the whelping pen, and they will.
what are you doing?
It's like both her and Daisy right now are kind of like very territorial over it. They both want to claim it, and
Robin.
Do you think she needs to use the restroom?
Oh, you know,
Like,
yeah.
go outside. Yeah, if you want.
I'll switch her and Daisy.
Okay, yeah. Oh no, Waffle! Like a power cut to. I hope they don't have a like. Is it like a blackout thing, or like you run out of power from your device? Oh boy! Oh boy! Come here. Is she outside?
No, she's in the ante room.
Oh, I see.
Meet Daisy.
Yeah, and this is
Daisy
Daisy.
Doodle.
Daisy Doodle. Our Daisy Doodle. Hi. Good girl. Who's a good girl? So this is Daisy. She is a little bit younger than Robin, but I mean, we're not talking like a whole lot. Maybe just like a couple months. But this is her second litter as well. And like I said, she's due 5 days after Robin. And you can probably tell, I'll get her out here, has a much...
You can see what we mean by...
Yeah, she has a much... Yeah, she's petite. She has a much smaller structure than
Hi,
Robin.
Doodle. Hi.
Waffle says aw.
You're such a good girl.
Oh, that's good, Jean. I'm so happy to hear this. She said that one of the vets ended up taking her Maltese, and that the young
That's so nice.
she had young kids, and so the dog is very, very happy at the new home. So that's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, and so this is Daisy. You might hear us call her
Daisy Doodle.
Yeah, call
her Doodaloo sometimes, or Doodle Poodle.
Yeah, Doodle Poodle. Yeah, so if you hear those nicknames, then this is who we're talking about. She is quite possibly one of our sweetest dogs.
She's my favorite.
Yeah, she is Elizabeth's favorite.
My favorite. And she's my dog.
Oh, she's got you right
in the mouth.
in the mouth. Good girl.
That was icky.
Right on camera.
Oh, there's like a
little
there's a
tang.
salty taste.
Oh, sorry. You go. Yeah, that's fine. Go. Oh, good girl. Oh, I'm so sorry, Nadine. That's very sad that you've lost so much of your family. And we can understand, having your dogs be your companions, to be your partners to keep going through life with.
Yeah, give Daisy some bananas, because Susan's gonna eat the bananas.
Wait, what?
The bananas.
Oh, really? She'll eat the bananas?
She'll eat anything like that. She just won't eat dog food.
She just won't eat the doggy food, will you? Will you? You gonna kiss me? Yeah. No. Yeah, we. I mean, the whole reason that we got into Cavaliers was because of the loss of our son. For anybody who is new to our...
We regret that we did not find them sooner.
Yeah, sooner while he was still alive.
It would have been perfect.
Yeah. But if anybody is new to our channel and you're interested, we have a video about one of the dogs that we that we whelped. Yeah, one of the puppies we whelped named Nemo, and he had some.
He was born with, if you've ever heard of the lobster claw deformity,
Yeah.
it's really, really, really rare in canines. I didn't even think it was a thing in canines, and we looked it up, and it's like it's super, super rare that they don't really have any whole lot of case studies on it.
Yeah.
But it's not anything genetic, and it wasn't a sign of anything bigger or a symptom of a larger disorder. And he was completely healthy and happy. He was one of the best dogs in that, like his personality, one of the best in that litter.
Yeah, Nemo is a wonderful dog, and he went to a family.
He was great for an emotional support situation.
Yeah, he's a wonderful, wonderful emotional support dog, and he went to a family that helped us care for our son Matthew, who was very, very handicapped, and ended. I mean, that's Matthew, our son. He passed away about 3 weeks before his 3rd birthday, and but anyway, we have a video about it, and goes into a little bit more detail if you're interested. It's about I think like 9 minutes long, and just kind of explains how we got into getting into Cavaliers and what happened with Nemo, and how we just felt that it was
It was one of the reasons that one of the reasons the universe brought us into breeding, because I remember saying when I asked this family, the mom, we asked her to speak at our son's funeral, and I told her that there was like nothing we could do, and we even I asked him what we could get for her as a thank you, and there was like everything, sending like a little cheese basket is so cheap when somebody has like helped you. I mean, she took phone calls at midnight so that we could drop our kids off, our 3 toddler kids off, so that we could take our son to the hospital and have surgery.
Yeah.
And so, like, it was just, you can't thank somebody with a gift who is completely available to you for 3 years like that.
That family really did. They helped us in ways that we can't even begin to explain. And so when Nemo came along, being able to gift him to them,
and when they were needing,
they were
exactly like they needed him but didn't really know it yet.
They needed an emotional support animal. They didn't quite know it at the time, but then it all made sense once they met Nemo.
Yeah, they came and met him, and it was like he was here for
Isaac.
For them.
Yeah, he was here for Isaac.
Our liquor.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, Waffle. Yes, Daisy is pregnant. She is pregnant as well.
She's only 5 days behind. But
and she's got her belly is much more compact right down here at the bottom.
I'll bring her up to the. Robin's got a big old belly you can see across the room. There's Daisy's little belly. It's okay, Daisy Doodle, I got you. There's Daisy's little belly. It's okay.
Good girl.
Wonder if you can see down here. So I don't know.
No.
There's Daisy's little belly.
Yeah, they can see it. Hey, good girl. Yeah, who's good girl? Yes, you are. You're a good girl. You gonna lick me now? But she is due 5 days after Daisy.
After Robin.
I'm sorry, 5 days after Robin, and we're going to have a lot of live stream material for you all. We are going to be very busy. We're probably going to have 2 cameras going. Goodness, yes. Hi.
And even with how affectionate and snuggly and cuddly as Cavaliers are, they get so much more snuggly when they're pregnant. Like, I don't know if might have seen a robin, but they'll get in our laps, and it's like they're still not close enough. They need to jump in our faces and get their tongues in our mouths. Like they can't get close enough.
Yeah, they just love to be with their humans.
They just wiggle their bodies into you, like.
Come on, you can come up here. That's all right. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Yeah, there you go. Oh,
Oh.
that's a good girl. Yeah, who's a good girl?
She's such a sweetie.
Thought she was gonna get up on that on your
She's been laying in my grandma's chair.
in your grandma's chair.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Only her too.
Only her.
Yeah. The
She-
dogs don't.
She jumps in and we'll just get cozy in there.
Mhm.
That's a good napping chair, isn't it, sweetie?
It was my grandma's napping chair,
That's right.
so it's gonna be Daisy's too. I don't know you're doing it. She's such a good girl. You're not gonna rip up my grandma's chair. No. So it's kind of awesome about our Cavaliers too. Growing up, my family, we had, we raised farm-bred border collies, and I was used to the dogs just destroying everything until you either trained it out of them or just exercised them enough, and we had them in dog sports and stuff like that. But our Cavaliers don't have this like need to destroy materials like so many other dogs do.
Yeah.
I explained to one family that instead of shredding their toys and trying to get their squeakers out, they'll kind of play with their toys and be a little aggressive with their toys, but then after that they just love on them and protect them and hide them in hiding places and carry them around with them and put them in their sleeping spots, and they keep them safe. Like they love their toys and their belongings, and they treat them so well.
Was it Missy, the one that was hiding stuff in our closet?
Yeah, Missy, when she was pregnant, right before she delivered that lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was trying to hide the treats
That's right. She was hiding treats and toys.
in our closet. Yeah, she was jumping in those corners. We have a question.
Yes, Jean asks, how did you get a black and white and a liver and white? So, Robin, who was on
For years
before,
it's called liver and white.
yeah, Robin, the Blenheim, which was the liver and white,
Yeah, in Cavaliers, the liver and white is called Blenheim.
it's called Blenheim. We adopted her from a breeder in
Texas.
In Texas.
Actually,
And
Robin was in Texas too.
yeah, Robin was in Texas, and then Daisy was in Texas, right? Yeah, and so we got Robin first from one breeder, and then a couple months later we got Daisy from a completely different breeder. I thought she was in Oklahoma City. Or you let Matt?
No, Paris and Pom Pom were Oklahoma.
Oh, that's right. Okay, all right, my mistake. But yeah, so we just ended up adopting them so that we could, we did a lot of research, talked to the breeders quite
As
a bit.
we were first looking for a Cavalier as a pet, and we learned that they had kind of a bigger amount of some of these genetic problems that are more commonly associated with Cavaliers. Upon learning that, we did a bunch of research into what to avoid and what to ask breeders, and so we kind of, when we got our pets, we kind of went in with it. We even agreed to not spay Missy initially because we had done so much research. We thought if it's this difficult for us to find a Cavalier, maybe we should leave open the idea of breeding them, since we know they're healthy, and create our own, do it our own way.
Do our own brand. But we ended up just doing a lot of research, talking to the breeders, so that we knew that we were getting very healthy dogs, because we wanted to our philosophy is that we're not necessarily breeding our dogs for
Perfection.
Yeah, exactly. They're not for perfection, like in the show circuit or something like that. Like we aren't expecting to take our dogs to any kennel club shows or anything like that. We are breeding them for.
But they are from show breeders, and their parents all have like healthy genes.
Yeah.
But if you notice, if you look closely at our dogs, Robin, for instance, because the show breeders will usually sell their puppies that aren't perfect for AKC. So like Robin, you'll notice she's got a little mini extra thumbprint, and then Daisy, you'll notice the freckles on her nose are not considered like quality Cavalier markings.
Yeah, freckles like on her legs.
I think
too.
they're adorable.
Yeah.
I think they're awesome.
Yeah,
So for my Cavaliers, they're fantastic.
They're fantastic. But we wanted.
But yeah, I was just trying to add that.
That they do have they come from show lineage.
Yeah, their markings aren't perfect, but they are very healthy. Otherwise, they're healthy and.
Yeah, and we are.
Really important stuff is good.
We wanted to breed them to be outstanding companions.
To make really good pets.
Yeah, to make really good pets, and so that was what we were looking for. Where we were looking at their temperament and their personality, and
we find that a lot of it too comes in with how we raise them. Because our first litter, we weren't as engaged. He and I were both working full time, and we weren't as engaged with the puppies as these most recent litters we've had, and the difference it's made. Jenny's family said something. What did they say? That we bred the perfect puppy.
Yeah, we bred the perfect puppy.
And we found though that litter of puppies where we weren't as engaging, they were more timid and a little more afraid of the world.
Yeah.
When they left than these other puppies that are like ready to take on the world as they walk out the door.
Yeah, that first litter, we hadn't quite. I'd say polished our system or our methods of raising them for that the first 8 weeks of their life, and we feel like have come a long ways now. Let's see.
It's like having a newborn baby those first 2 weeks.
Oh, Kimberly is on.
Hi, Kimberly.
Yeah, and she says hello, and she sees that we've got another mama to be. And start another chapter to start. Yeah, that's right. We will be starting another chapter soon enough. This is since you just got on.
Daisy Doodle.
Yeah, Daisy Doodle. She is due September 18th, and then Robin we had on a little bit earlier. She is due September 13th. So Daisy is about 5 days after Robin. Let's see.
They have a 9-week gestation, so basically weeks 6 to 9 are the third trimester. So that gives you a little perspective. That puts Robin at exactly 8 weeks pregnant out of 9 weeks. So like an 8 months out of 9 months for a little bit of perspective.
So, hello, Anessa. We see that you are from New Jersey and that you have 4 Cavaliers. And it's wonderful to hear, and that they have puppies sometimes too. And she asks, are you guys AKC registered, and do you have champion bloodlines? And we had just kind of talked about that, where our dogs like Daisy and Robin, they come from AKC champion bloodlines. I'm trying to think of like who else.
It depends on some of them. Some of them are AKC and a couple of them are ACA.
Yeah, ACA.
But we're explaining how we get our dogs, because our goal in raising them is raising really great pets, but we want our pets that we raise to be healthy.
Yeah, to be very healthy.
And so to find our dams and sires, we went to show breeders who have been performing these genetic health tests, and kind of asked them which of their dogs would they be willing to sell us that would be good for breeding, like for pets that don't need to have perfect markings. And so we were just explaining how Daisy, I think it's adorable, but her imperfect marking for Cavaliers is the freckles on her face. And so like she's really healthy and she's great otherwise, but she was basically no good for the
show
breeder
circuit
in the show ring.
Yeah.
And so we got her.
Yeah.
Then Robin, her fault is
she's too white.
Yeah, she's too white, and she's got like a second mini thumbprint. But she's a Blenheim, and her markings were not great. But like I said, she's healthy, and we keep in touch too with the breeders. So over the years, you might be familiar with like the echoes that you do on the hearts, because the heart stuff you can't just do hard testing you've got to monitor. So we keep in touch with them to make sure everybody still looks good.
Yeah, it's that their parents are healthy still, and they aren't showing any issues with their hearts. What was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh, and but like Elizabeth said, that we breed for excellent pets, and we feel that when our puppies go to their new families, that they are set for.
We have alteration agreements too.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of exceptions where we took it out, but we only sell our dogs as pets. We don't. We have it in the contract that families will spay and neuter
Yep.
when their vet advises is the best time to do so, because we don't want to. Of course, we want to breed pets, but we don't want them to get into the wrong hands that are then just making more dogs
Yeah.
for the money. We want to stop the family line with them.
Yeah, but we have in the past we've had a couple or maybe only one family that asked to have the alteration agreement removed so that they could breed, and it was something that we discussed with the family that was adopting one of our dogs, and we had a nice long discussion with them to make sure what they were agreeing to and that we agreed to and all that sort of fun stuff. So good girl. That was from Robin's letter.
Mm-hmm.
Robin's last letter. Yeah.
Hello. Yes, you are a good girl. You're a good girl, aren't you? You're so beautiful.
When she's at the very end of her pregnancy, she just looks like a giant bowling ball because she's so petite
Yeah.
that she just got her big old belly, and then her little legs and head and tail kind of stick out from her giant belly.
Yes.
Poor Daisy Doodle.
Good girl. Our thing is starting to.
Is it freezing?
It was starting to. 15 minutes. We've been on for about an hour.
My stomach feels like I haven't eaten or something.
Is it
That's what I did eat.
Is it the need to get you back on steamed veggies?
Back on my gallbladder diet.
Your gallbladder? Yeah.
The boring gallbladder diet.
Yep.
Hi,
It was-
Daisy Doodle.
It was delicious though.
It was good. Yeah.
Oh, big yawn. Oh, big yawn.
Ah.
She's gonna come and join you. Oh, she's gonna lick your.
I'm such a good girl.
But if you guys have any questions, feel free to go to our website, www.redbarncavaliers.com.
There's also some questions that were like, did you want to mention the new things we're doing, the driving and the doggy daycare?
Yeah. So, there have been in the past we've had people that would contact us and they were very interested in adopting a dog, but the problem was that they could only take the dog at a time that was a few weeks after the dogs were available to be picked up. So by the law in Illinois, we have to keep the puppies with us for the first
With
8
their mom.
weeks. Yeah, with their mom for the first 8 weeks of their life, and then after that, then they can go to their new home. Now, like I said, there have been times where people were very, very interested in adopting a dog, but they
Pickup usually takes place during that 8th week between weeks 8 and 9.
Yeah, between weeks 8 and 9 is usually when people will come and pick up the dogs. But in the past, we have had people that
Frenchie?
had to pick up maybe 4 to 5 weeks after that they were officially available for pickup, and so that unfortunately, I mean, people would turn away and say, oh,
It's difficult for them because it's not, you can't board a puppy, and
Right.
we don't, if we can help our families avoid boarding their puppies, we want to do that because with all of the training we've been putting into them, we'd hate for them to be boarded all of a sudden.
Right.
But they usually need to be fully vaccinated and fixed and all of that sort of stuff. And oftentimes families have plans, whether it's for Christmas or family vacation.
Yeah. And so what we have agreed to do is that let's say that someone is very, very interested in adopting a dog, but they can't pick up until, let's say, the dog is 12 weeks old. What we will do is that between the 8th and 9th week, when they are officially available, we just ask that the remainder of the balance be paid, and then after the 9th week, we will board the dogs.
We don't board them. We just we continue taking
care
of them.
We continue taking care of them. We will keep the dogs here.
We'll give them their booster vaccinations because those roll around like 10 weeks. So we give them their boosters, and we'll continue their deworming schedule.
Yeah, for a price of about $10 a day, we will continue watching the dog and taking care of them, making sure that they get all their vaccinations, making sure that they're still being trained and all that sort of stuff until the family is available to come and pick them up. So that's the policy that we came up with, and we actually had someone with Missy's litter, this last litter that you all were able to watch. We had one family take us up on that.
Yeah, right after we started it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we found a family that needed it, and so who was it? Jenny stayed with us an extra couple of weeks, and so.
Cooper and Connor.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and Cooper and Connor.
Driving.
Yeah.
Because we can't ship. A lot of people ask if we ship.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought it was kind of.
Yeah, a lot of people will ask us if we will ship the dogs, if we will, send them on an airplane, and we will not do that. We will not ship. However, what we have decided to do is that we will.
We don't mind driving.
Yeah, we don't mind driving. We don't mind driving.
Personally.
Yeah, and we are willing to meet people halfway, usually for a fee, just because it's gas and everything these days. We figured that it would make it pick up easier for some folks, and we have had people come from some faraway locations. The furthest was Albuquerque, New Mexico. We've had families come from Miami, Florida, and so we have decided.
We'll drive long distances too.
Yeah.
I don't think we even really came up with a limit.
Yeah, we haven't really come up with a limit on how far we're willing to travel. But again, it's something where if that interests you, if that's something that you would need help with as transportation.
If shipping was like your only option,
yeah,
we're now doing a delivery sort of system where we can meet halfway if you want to meet halfway to reduce like the mileage costs that you would be charged. We could do that too.
Yeah, and that's again, just reach out to us. You can. Send us a message on the website or shoot us an email, and we can work anything out. We are very negotiable. We're very reasonable people.
Business phone number is, if you just do a Google for us, it's on our Google the Google profile and our website.
Yeah. And so, if you want to reach out to us with any questions you might have,
you can just text to that number too.
Yeah, you can text the number. In fact, texting usually works best because we can't always take phone calls. We've got a busy family. We've got a number of children, and so we can't always take phone calls. But texting works pretty well. We're able to send text messages back in relatively short order. Are you comfy? Good girl. Yeah, you can take a nap there. It's okay.
She's like, I'm gonna have my puppies here. We like to joke about which places we think they're planning to have their puppies, just because in the last week of a pregnancy, that's what they're usually doing. I don't know if any of you saw Robin walking around here. She doesn't usually do that. That's just her being really pregnant. And just like in people, again, they're looking for a spot to make their nest.
Yeah.
So,
Kimberly, you asked, do we allow our puppies on airlines? And we, like we said, we won't ship them. Like, we're not going to just put them in a crate and
people can fly in and take them home.
Yeah, but we have had people fly in and pick up their dogs and then fly back.
Yeah, because then they're in the cabin with you.
Yeah, exactly. As long as the dog is in the cabin with you and, like, you know, basically with their people, that's how we feel that is okay. When you put a dog into a crate and slap a sticker on it and then they get thrown into the cargo hold of an airplane.
They're not fully vaccinated and they're with the other animals. It kind of goes back to the don't put them in with other animals that may have other...
Yeah, that's what we don't agree with. But, you know, as long as they're... And most airlines will allow you to... take your puppy in a small carrier and basically they'll stay in the lap with you. I think that you have to pay.
You have to.
You've
you
done
have
it.
to put them. We have like a little collapsible crate, but you put them in the collapsible crate and then slide them under the seat in front of you.
Yeah, Elizabeth has actually done it. How many dogs have you done it with?
3.
Yeah, Elizabeth has gone and picked up several of our pack and then flown back with them, and it's gone pretty well, I'd say.
Yeah, it was really easy, especially with our airport right here.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, and that's another thing to mention is we have an airport that is pretty close by. It's Bloomington Regional Airport. BMI is the code. It's a fantastic airport for flying into. The security is very minimal. It's one of the few airports where
It's only got 4 gates.
Yeah, exactly. There's only like 4 gates. You can park your car in the parking lot, cross one road, basically where most people drop off, and then go straight into the terminal. Like it's a great airport for doing this, where people will fly in. We meet them at the airport. We sit, chat, we go through the contract, and then they get on the next flight to Chicago or Dallas or
wherever they're going.
Yeah, wherever they're going. Yeah, exactly. There's a number of, they will connect to major hubs, and then they can get back to wherever they're going. So that's also something that people can use.
Yeah, it's not that we don't let them go on airplanes. It's that we don't want to ship them in the cargo area or the pet area largely because of their vaccination status, but also because they're only 8 weeks old, they're young, and we've been really nurturing and trying to mold this temperament of theirs, and so I would be afraid that it would be detrimental to their development and their progress to suddenly be thrown into this hot cargo hold that's got who knows what other animals in it that could be barking at them.
It's cold. When they're up at altitude, it's cold in there. Yeah. But Jean asks, are Cavaliers good as only dogs? And I would say yes. They.
I'd say they're like good as both. So
they're really good as both. Either you can have
as a pair, as alone.
Yeah, you can have them as a pair, or you can have multiple Cavaliers, and they do pretty well all together. But they also do really well as just a single companion. And so if it's like you, Jean,
they're such people dogs.
Yeah, exactly. They are such awesome people pleasers.
Like this right here.
Yeah, that as long as they are with their person, they are very happy. I think that if you had a Cavalier and you were, you were young, you were a young family or something like that, and the kids were going off to school, and then you were going off to work, and the Cavalier was left by itself for 6 or 8 hours a day, then you probably would want to come, a buddy with your Cavalier. But if it's just, you when you're retired and you want a companion, a single Cavalier would be fantastic. They are wonderful, wonderful companions. Aren't you? Yes, you are. Look at you.
She's my favorite companion.
She's
second to you.
Oh, thanks.
No, second to you.
I know.
She's my favorite of all the Cavaliers.
She is the queen on on the throne.
Oh, her ears aren't long enough. We should try Robin. Sure.
Oh, doing that. Oh, jeez. She's got a man bun.
Robins are longer.
Yeah.
I need one of Bella's hair ties.
And then, hello, Waffle. Hello again. I hope
Waffle.
you're. He said that he's losing power, and so he's like, it's on and off. Yeah. What's that?
Was a sheep.
Oh. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that. Jeez, holy smokes! I didn't realize that Waffle was. I feel terrible now. Oh man, we've got 24 people, or 24 people on watching us right now.
Oh, sorry, you don't have much to show you guys.
Yeah, sorry, there's not a whole heck of a lot going on, but for anyone who's
Just gonna take a nap.
yes, for anybody who has recently joined, Elizabeth has Daisy. Daisy is due on September 18th, and we are expecting what 4 to 6 with her. Is that
Yeah,
what
4 to 6.
Yeah, 4 to 6.
4 to 6 or 5 to 7.
Yeah. And then Robin.
5 to 7 and 6 to 8.
Yeah. And Robin, who is our Blenheim, our big mama Blenheim that Elizabeth had on the live stream yesterday, she's due September 13th, 5 days before Daisy. So.
She'll be getting belly shaved here pretty soon.
Yeah. Robin will be having her belly shaved very soon, so that her nipples are easily accessible for the puppies, especially when their eyes are sealed.
Lay down a towel and do it on here so that people can see.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good
Because
idea.
you can see much more of their belly and puppies
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
it's freshly shaved.
if you guys would like to watch us, trim up her belly, let us know in the comments or in the chat. We're open to suggestions. So.
It's so sad to me too. Like I just hate. I almost can't even bring myself to do it.
Jean, she asked if we think that Robin will have her puppies earlier than the 13th.
I'd say probably not,
Yeah. Oh.
but it's always possible. That's why they sleep in bed with us.
Yeah, it's always possible, and we have.
This one is reason enough.
Yeah.
They sleep in bed with us.
Yeah, exactly. But we have the dogs stay in our bedroom at night. Well, we have one of them at least. However, Elizabeth is the one that has kept track of when they mated and how long the gestation is, and basically all of our litters you have called the ball.
No, we haven't had any of them land on the same day. They haven't gone into labor the day of. It was usually like the day after or the day before or day after.
Yeah, you have usually been within a 1 day window, either before or
Yeah,
after.
Had it pretty
Yeah.
spot on.
So. Oh, hey Shalini.
Hi, Shalini.
Nice to have you on.
Good to see you again.
Yeah. She is falling asleep. She's falling asleep in your arms.
They're just like people. Like they're so tired when they're when they're in their 3rd trimester. They're so tired.
Yeah, they do enjoy their naps. They do enjoy laying around and catching some Z's.
Big leg is in there.
Shalini is having dinner right now.
Oh yeah, because Shalini is in France or Europe.
Yeah, where are you again, Shalini? I'm sorry, you're somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, aren't you in Europe? I want to say France, but I know that that's
Waffle.
Waffle. But I think there's another person from France. But I think there's actually a few people from France.
There's a few people from France.
I do
Oh,
know-
UK. She's in the UK.
That's right.
Yeah, and the dog that Elizabeth has in her arms is Daisy. Daisy is our tricolor. Yeah, Daisy Doodle. She is our tricolor, and she will be having her puppies sometime around September 18th. Robin is our big Blenheim girl. She was on yesterday, and we had her on a little bit earlier in this live stream. But she is
She
due.
took up most of the this
Yeah,
live stream.
yeah,
stream, wasn't it?
she took up most of this one, but she's due the 13th. She's due a week from today. That's so we plan on getting on and doing these live streams every day just to kind of give you guys updates to show you like how much bigger they're getting, and then
Kind of what we're watching for, because the last couple of days before they deliver, it's a lot of it's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of frustrating fun because we're trying, just like with people again, we're trying to tell if they're going into labor or if they're just panting a lot because they're tired.
because they're tired a lot.
Or it's like waiting to have one of your own babies. You're trying to wonder if every sign is a sign of impending
Yeah,
labor.
it's like, are you going into labor? No, maybe. Like, yeah, it's,
So
they usually,
we'll be live streaming that whole bit. So
yeah, and we would really like to live stream the actual birth so that you guys can be there with us and see what happens. It's a lot. I mean, we're excited. We're very excited to see how this goes. It could be.
it's really pretty cool for those who hate being so far away. Those who enjoy watching the natural process of delivery or reproduction in mammals. It's really fascinating to watch how the dogs do it, because they don't understand. They don't have the conscious thought that they're pregnant. They don't have the conscious thought that they're in labor. And when she went into labor the first time, it was a good thing we'd been sleeping in bed with her, because she just hopped out of bed and headed over to the potty pan to go poop. But she couldn't make it, and she started pushing out a puppy halfway between our bed and the potty
And
pan.
potty pan, yeah.
And so we had no idea she'd been in labor all those hours throughout the night. But what was I getting at?
You're talking about for people that enjoy the
Oh
natural.
yeah, so it's really fascinating to see how they pick up what's going on and how their instincts kick in and just take over with how they start pushing them out and break the bag. And with dogs, there's two bags. There's like an outer bag, and then there's an inner bag. And so once you break that outer bag, sometimes there's a little confusion with that next bag, and so we help them out. But they get it so quickly, and then when they chew the cord, I mean, it's really fascinating if you enjoy the science or the biological side of.
Yeah, because it's for a dog to it just has these instincts that just kind of take
People
over.
are told by doctors when to push.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. For people, we're told by doctors on what to do, or a midwife or something like that. You're kind of being directed the whole time. Where a dog, it's just like they know what to do, and once the puppy is born, they immediately get the bag off and. I hope it doesn't gross anybody out, but they consume everything. They consume the bag, the amniotic fluid, and the afterbirth, or the placenta. Yeah, and so they consume all that, and then they chew off the umbilical cord. They try to get down as close to their bellies as they can. We have to kind of watch it, make sure that things are okay. But it's just really fascinating because they just know what to do, and then they're licking the puppy, getting them to breathe and stuff like that. And we will help if we need to, but for the most part, we kind of
We just make sure everybody's moving along
yeah,
safely.
yeah, exactly. We're not trying to take over or anything. We're just kind of there as support. So it's really really cool. Okay, let's see. Gene asks where in Illinois we are. So we are in central Illinois.
Like very, very center.
Yeah, we're right smack dab in the middle. So I-55 runs from St. Louis up to Chicago, and we are basically right in between Chicago and St. Louis, right in the middle of the state on I-55. So a lot of people, we've had a number of people come from St. Louis to adopt puppies. We've had a lot of people come from Chicago adopting puppies, but we've had people come from all over. We've had a couple from Wisconsin. We've had some from Florida, some from Kentucky. Yeah, Kentucky, New Mexico. I mean, all over. So, oh boy. Hey, Cindy. Nice to see you, Cindy Jacob. Yeah, she's on.
Oh, we should go get Robin so she can see Robin because Robin's so big.
Oh, you know, grab her. Yeah. Oh.
Here.
You know. Yeah, you're gonna swap
Yeah.
them out. Yeah.
Hi, Cindy.
Oh goodness. Yeah, Shalini, you're right. Where the dogs don't they don't need a whole lot of help. They just kind of they know what to do. And like we said, their second litters always seem to go a little bit better. Oh goodness! And here comes Robin. Robin, come on, baby.
Here you go. Let's go see Dad.
Come on. Hi, baby. Hey, how are you?
Cindy probably wouldn't be able to believe how big she is.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wait, come back real quick. Ah, she's gonna follow you back.
Robin.
Well, I was gonna say, we gotta get going here pretty soon because it's almost time for.
Hi, Robin. Oh my goodness. What is this? How are you jumping so much?
She's excited. She says I'm happy. Oh, and now
Daisy Doodle's upset.
Daisy Doodle's upset that Robin's getting the attention. Oh goodness gracious.
Robin's due a week from today, Cindy.
Robin is due a week from today, and it's going to be a busy time, huh?
Yeah,
Oh, gosh, good girl. But we do need to end this live stream because we got our kids coming home from school here pretty soon, and so we're going to get all the doggers taken care of and whatnot. But we hope that you all will join us again. Oh, there goes. There she goes. Oh. But thank you so much for joining us, and we hope you guys are having a great day. And we will tune back in tomorrow, probably around 11:30. All right? Thank you.
Oh my.